Hi, I want to share a simple recipe that I love for a quick soup that I often make. It's made with fresh kale and tinned mackerel in tomato sauce. It's easy to make, inexpensive, and super tasty. Our two principal ingredients are kale and tinned mackerel in tomato sauce. This soup is really adaptable for a lot of veg that you may have hanging about in the fridge. I've got some spring onions that want to be used up. I've got 3 chestnut mushrooms and lemon and chili. In terms of prep, there's not much to do really. We're just going to slice up the green onions and mushrooms, zest the lemon, and seed and chop the chili, and it's done. So for the green onions, I'm just going to trim the darker green ends of the green onion off. And I like to give these a whack. Just to keep them from rolling away. And then the mushrooms, and with the mushrooms I like to take a bit of the side off. That gives me a flat surface to work with and just makes it easier for slicing. I'm going to zest the lemon, and if you don't have a zester, you can use the small holes of a grater. And I'm just going to pass the knife and chop the lemon zest just a little bit. And we'll save the lemon for squeezing a little bit of juice on the soup at the end. Right, for the chili, just going to cut the green off. Now, in this recipe, the chili is optional. If you don't like chili, you can leave it out, no problem. It's still really delicious. If you are concerned about the heat of the chili, I would say take the seeds out and discard them because they hold most of the heat. And conversely, if you like the heat, keep the seeds in or keep a few of the seeds in. You'll feel the fire. And then for the chili, just slice these finely. Let's cook the soup. I'm going to bring 3 cups of water or 600 milliliters of water to the boil. And I'll add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Just a note about my pot, it's larger than what I actually need. But with this induction hob, I need a pot with an iron bottom or a magnetizable bottom. And this is the smallest pot I have like that. So it's going to be just fine. If you've got the right size pot, use it. If you don't, use what you've got. Right, so I'm going to add the kale, which I have rinsed and drained, into the pot, along with the sliced spring onions and mushrooms. Give that a bit of a stir and bring to the simmer and cover. And you want to cook that at a simmer for about 6 to 7 minutes until the stalk end of the kale is kind of crisp tender. That's been about 6 minutes now, and I'm going to have a little bit of a taste to see how the kale is doing. So for testing doneness, I'd go with the bit of the stalk end, that's the toughest bit, and see if it needs a little more cooking or if it's just fine. It's nice, but I think it needs about another minute of cooking, so on with the top. Okay, let's see how the kale's doing. It's perfect, just right. Now, I'm gonna turn the heat off, and to finish, I'm gonna add the tinned mackerel and all of the tomato sauce in the can. And then give that a stir. Okay, so the fish has been stirred into the soup and it's brought the temperature down a little bit. So I'm going to heat it just until simmering, turn it off, and cover it for 4 minutes, and it's ready to serve. It smells great, the colors are really lovely, and it's ready to be eaten. Just before service, you can add the grated lemon zest and the chili if you're using it. Drizzle with a bit of olive oil. And finally, a little bit of lemon juice. Let's say it's about 1 or 2 teaspoons. So that's a quick kale, mackerel, and tomato soup. Enjoy.